how to beat all 7 nights of Five Nights at Freddy's 1. This channel is mainly just going to consist of videos of me on my new computer. I may be doing some Geometry Dash videos in the future on my PC. I've gotten a lot better at Geometry Dash. Maybe wondering what the hell I've been doing. And I'll get to that. I will do a future video one day. I'm going to mute the call because it's time to actually explain how Five Nights at Freddy's works. So, if you don't know, we have the office, we have the left hallway and the right hallway, and we have the cameras that you click down, so you can see I'm doing that. And there is the show stage, there's all of these rooms. You want to keep watch of Pirate's Cove. I'm assuming you've seen a video. I'm assuming you've seen a video about Five Nights at Freddy's before. You've watched Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, but if you have not, I am here to teach you how to play the game and get good at it, and hopefully beat the best night. So, just to start, I want to say that nothing can move until 2 AM. And normally it's the part where the phone call will jump on and on. But if you don't have the phone call turned on, it's just a bit of a boring moment for pro players, but this is the time that noobs get to learn how to play the game. So you have the left hallway and the right hallway. These will be important maybe on the later parts of this night, but mainly for the next night. But we're going to be going through nights 1 and 3, and then I will be going through nights 4, 5, 6, and I'll be going through nights 4, 5, and 6 in another video. And then finally we'll be going through 420 mode, the final night and the final challenge. So it's 1 AM now. It is an hour every 1 minute and a half, but every hour past 12 AM to 1 AM is 89 seconds, meaning one night is 8 minutes and 55 seconds long. Now you have the lights and the doors. There's them if you see an animatronic there. Now I do want to advise that you may notice if I span the lights, it's not that fast, but if I move my mouse a little bit, it's way faster. And that's something that happens in the first few FNaF games. It's much faster if you just flick your mouse into a different position while moving up towards a different area of the hitbox. So clicking the light button, it's best to move it. Also same with the nose. Pretty fast, but if I do this, as you can see, I was able to click it way more. And now the power, I'll be careful not to turn the camera here. So the power will have 1 bar at all times. Using lights, we'll give it up to 2. Every time the door is closed, it will go also up to 2. And it can go up to a maximum of 4 bars. So if I close both doors and then do this, all 4 bars will be active, and I'll be draining as much power as possible. You obviously don't want to be doing that, so that's the best tip I can give you on night 1, is to avoid things. So on every single night, Bonnie will gain 1 AI, and at 3 AM, Chica, Bonnie, and Foxy will all gain 1 AI, and then finally, at 4 AM, the same thing that happens at 3 AM will happen again. So something I need to obviously get straight, the purple one is Bonnie, the yellow one is Chica, the brown one is Freddy, and then through this curtain we might see someone called Foxy later. Now, we obviously want to make sure that we don't run out of power, because obviously I've just been chatting away, showing off all the bits of power, so obviously I want to be careful. So it's been 2 AM for a while now, and if you don't know, basically, the main threats of these first few nights are Bonnie and Chica. Basically, if you didn't know, every 5 seconds, Bonnie and Chica have a percentage correlating to the AI number, and maximum AI is 20, and every 1 AI, every 1 AI is a 5% chance to move. Meaning that by 20 AI, they have a guaranteed chance to move every 5 seconds, and at 1 AI, they have a 5% chance to move every 5 seconds. Right now, Bonnie is only set to 1 AI. It seems that Bonnie has walked into the dining room area. It is now 3 AM, meaning Bonnie is now at 2 AI. He has a 10% chance to move every 5 seconds. So now my best tip is to watch Bonnie every 5 seconds. So obviously you cannot move anything between 5 seconds. It's very unlikely that you'll have to deal with Bonnie also very unlikely you have to deal with any animatronic, to be honest, but for these first 2 nights, you will be want to keep watching Bonnie as much as possible. But there will be a very different strategy used for night 3 that I'll explain a lot in detail on night 3 and go into more detail and more ways to utilize it on nights 4, 5, 6, and 7. Because some things do change about the strategy. So now Bonnie's moved into the backstage room. If you're a new player, you want to watch out for this room, as Bonnie has a 1 in 8 chance every time you flip the camera up in this room to pull his face right at the camera, so I wouldn't recommend watching that out. It definitely scared me the first time. So here's Chica now, she's moved. I just want to preface that this giant shadowy figure is Chica. And Bonnie is now gone. He's now entered the hallway. Bonnie will show up as a rabbit shape on the dining room. As you can now hear, there is ambience playing in the background. And that is very important, as it means that it detects if an animatronic is getting closer. If you didn't know, basically this game has an in-game volume. Again, there he is, chilling. Don't be too scared of him, just know that he cannot kill you at all. So now what I recommend doing is just checking Chica's light, and now Bonnie's right there. So now I can actually explain how the door works. Basically, if you see a shadowy figure outside the door, and Bonnie is still there, so you want to watch out for that. And now we're just going to keep an eye on Chica. There's Chica. And now I'm going to explain something now that will be very important for night 3. So every time that Bonnie will get away from the door, so now, he will reappear in the dining room every single time. That is something that will always happen. And this will be utilized very well on night 3, but I'll explain that later. So for now, we just want to keep watching cameras and making sure that none of these guys move. Now, they obviously will move, but stalling does not work for any of these animatronics that move. And you may have heard the mass amount of pots and pans. This means that Chica is now in the kitchen. You don't have to worry about her, do not panic. So, if you know Chica is in the hallway, in the kitchen, we want to make sure that we watch Bonnie instead. Another thing is that Chica will always come up on this side, on the east hall, and then Bonnie will always come up on this side. So now Bonnie has disappeared, because it is now 4 AM, meaning Bonnie is now at 3 AI, Chica is at 2, and Foxy's at 2. I will definitely explain how Foxy works when we get to night 4, and I'll explain even more in detail when we get to 20 AI, and I may even do a complete breakdown of AI, as this is just a night guide. I don't have to explain how every animatronic works. All I have to do is show you that game mechanics and how to dodge them. So keep in mind that Bonnie can only ever move from the dining area, move from the show stage to the dining area or backstage. Once Bonnie's done this, he can choose to either go to the backstage from the dining room or go from the backstage to the dining area, which is always going to be his next movement. And from the dining area, he can choose to go back to the backstage or into the hallway, where he will start to approach the player. Bonnie will never go back from going into the West Hall. Once he reaches the West Hall, he is locked in on his path and will never stop. So now what we're just going to keep doing is checking. And another thing is that Chica, there she is, she's left the kitchen. Chica can actually go from room to room, and that's why you won't necessarily see her on the cameras that much until you get to night 3. So now Chica is outside the store corner, and what I'm going to be doing is checking. And there we go, 6 AM. So it's very unlikely you get any door attacks on night 1. But my best tip is to avoid Foxy, because I'm going to be explaining Foxy on this night, as I've definitely died to Foxy a couple times on this night during my first playthroughs. Now this night is very scary for a lot of people. Since people since the public have voted, Bonnie is the scariest animatronic, and the fact that he is the most active on this night, is not a good thing. So just make sure to keep an eye on Bonnie on this night, as the AIs that start this night is Bonnie at 3, Chica at 4, and Foxy at 1. Get the call again. Now keep in mind that Bonnie will always move every 5 seconds at 20 AI, but only at 3 AI he still poses a pretty big threat. As a matter of fact, if you guys are thinking that Bonnie's moving fast, And at the end of this night, he's at 6. Which, I'm just going to spoil it now. Bonnie's AI, being 6, is higher than the start of night 5. Which is just crazy. I apologize if my voice sounds weird. It's just because I feel a little bit sick. So already Chica's left the stage, which I was not ready for. I was not ready to see Chica at first. I would periodically check Pirate's Cove to make sure you watch it. Honestly, now that was camera static. That implies an animatronic camera moving from the stage. It was Chica, once again, moving into the kitchen. Now don't be using the cameras too much, as this is a night I almost always get a power outage on. Because this night in particular just feels so annoying when it comes to watching Bonnie. And it feels very camera heavy. Now, our best tip is to keep the camera open for only like 1 second. You want to examine one room at a time. Bonnie is still not left the stage. If you don't know, this is very lucky for me. Like this, I guarantee this will not happen for you. Unless you've got a game of luck and there's Bonnie is left and there it is in the backstage now. So we're going to keep an eye on the dining area to see if Bonnie enters. You also may have heard the ambience. Chica has now entered the East Hall. I'm surprised she's moved this much considering she's only on 1 AI, but now what you want to be doing now is just falling into the pattern of looking at the dining room and see there is Bonnie back there. So now I have to check his light. And because Chica's gone so close, I now have to keep periodically checking her. I'm surprised Bonnie's only moved twice, but Chica's moved 3 times. Now keep in mind, one thing that could happen here is that Chica could move into this room while Bonnie's in there, and we will see Chica, not Bonnie. We can only see one animatronic on the camera at a time, and basically how it works is Chica will always be on the camera if Bonnie is in the same room as Chica. Now Bonnie's reached the supply closet, which is 2 more movements, it's pretty fast. Now from this point, Bonnie can attack the player from here. His next movement has a 30% chance to reach the door. So we're just gonna keep out for that. As you see, yeah, I mean, he might not move for a while. One big problem with the animatronics on the early nights is that if they happen to move really fast, once they reach the door, because they're on such a slow AI, it's a very good chance they can just stay at the door for a very long time. That's why night 4 feature got very good. So if you see Bonnie there, don't panic. Oh, it's already gone. So if you saw Bonnie there, don't panic. So now Bonnie's in the dining room. And like I said, you always show up there. So now Chica is turning on the East Hall corner. So I'm gonna keep an eye on Bonnie. And there's Bonnie, he's chilling backstage. There's Chica. So I'm going to keep an eye on the dining area to make sure that Bonnie doesn't move. I think the night is maybe good with the hallucinations. If you saw those hallucinations, basically a place where it makes you sound effects. No, I think it's really good. I don't know what's going on. Try to get used to them. I'll be there for a while. You could try one of 3 patterns here. You could try camera, light, camera, light, camera, or you can even try light, camera, or if you feel a little feisty, light, camera, camera. I personally like light, camera, as it slows down efficiently. If you want to take the time, and then with Bonnie, you now gone. Yep, there it goes. Remember to not panic if Bonnie is there. And there goes Chica as well. Chica's really easy to spot as she'll show up at the window. It seems to the ambience, so the hallucinations are now gone. That will not happen, trust me, it's just a glitch. This game is from 2014. So now it's going to be very important because now both of them are there. we have to make sure that they were as fast as possible. So there you go, Bonnie's already left. I'm going to have to check his light. We saw him. There he goes again. Now I'm going to keep an eye on that he's tall. Make sure that Chica leaves as well. So Chica, confirm that she's still there. We'll make sure that she's gonna. There we go. That was footsteps on Bonnie's side. Yeah, if you couldn't hear. Oh god! Did I just catch that on camera? Oh my gosh! Okay, right. I'm just filming a tutorial here. I really did just get golden Freddy. Oh my gosh! Okay, this better be recording because I would be really mad if I was not. Like, Chica is just not leaving. But anyways, back to the tutorial. Guys, I need to preface this by saying that this is 1 in 108,000 chance of happening. Right there. I was not ready for that. She was finally gone. Now I start playing Power Fishing style. If you don't know about that, basically you just check the cameras a little bit less abundantly. And now we just have to keep going and just checking very periodically. God, that is crazy. I cannot believe that I actually just got golden Freddy on there. That is ridiculous. Like, I just want to say that no, we can't get up all the time, right? So there goes Bonnie. I guess Chica was so far away we didn't have to keep an eye on her. With 20% power going into 5 AM. See, I told you, this night, Bill likes to lick your power tootsie. I just want to lick your power. Like a tootsie pop or whatever you Americans call it, but like just, my point is, it gets crazy. How much does this? Okay, well, out there, everywhere. Okay, I'm going for Bonnie. Bonnie's there. Chica is in the kitchen, that's why I can't see her. So now I have to actually start playing like I'm not doing a tutorial here. I have to make sure I don't get a power outage to confirm that it's actually possible to do this with power. So I think I can do it. So now I think from this point forward, I'm just going to check Foxy. He still hasn't left the curtain. So we're now just, there it is. So now Bonnie's at 6 AI, goes at 3, Foxy's at 3. So I don't know if Bonnie actually left. Oh god. That's drag. And there we go, 6 AM. God, I could not recover from that golden Freddy. That is I'm sorry if I'm overreacting here, but oh my gosh. Right, night 3. Night 3 has a complete strategy. It's not like night 1 and 2 where you slip the trash one down the back, walk through. No, this is a full-on strategy. So game felt bad because now Bonnie is set to 0. Okay, he's set to 0 for this night. So just watch out for Chica. She has an AI of 5 on this night. And to give a fair warning, this is the first AI. This is the first night that features Freddy, our star of the show, Freddy. So Freddy is a big issue on 420 mode, but we're not going to talk about him just yet until we reach 2 AM. But for now, the best strategy I have for you is to check Chica and check Foxy. If you didn't know, Freddy cannot leave the stage until everyone is gone. And because Bonnie is set to 0 on this night, Freddy literally cannot leave until Bonnie has. And like I said, 0 AI, Bonnie can't move. No. If I look, I can look as many times as I want between the hours of 12 to 2. You will never leave. So just think of Bonnie as night 1 difficulty. Yes, he will be 3 by the end of the night. 7 by the end, right? Because throughout the entire night, Chica will gain 2 AI, and Bonnie will gain 3. And I'm assuming that's why they felt we kept Bonnie at such a I hear ambience starting right now. There's Chica chilling in the stall. The ambience has quieted down, meaning Chica is once again gone back. It's very like I get foxes. So now it's 2 AM. It's time for the strategy. So now we're gonna stay on the dining room camera and not move it. We're gonna keep flipping between checking Freddy and Foxy periodically. And the second we hear Freddy's laugh, it means one of two things. There he goes. Freddy has gone off into the world. So is Bonnie. And there he was. Creepy angle. I warned you guys about that. So now it's time for the definitive strategy, in my opinion. So Bonnie is a 1 AI. He's probably not going to move for a while. This night is really not that difficult, by the way. The biggest importance is that Bonnie did not move for a very long time. So Bonnie seems to still be in the backstage. Because I think Bonnie does have to go through the dining room to get to you. I don't know, I'll just go past me because my business is not good. One thing we can also do is check Chica on the restrooms. And that's what's so good about this strategy. If you happen to be too slow on Freddy, Freddy's next movement is the restroom, meaning you can use a half strategy, a backup against Chica and Freddy. So I will explain in a minute why this strategy is so good. So it seems though Bonnie's finally came out of his cove and he's moving backstage. And there's Chica. And so now Chica and Bonnie are in the same room. No, they're not. What the hell is moving back? So it seems though either I was in the dining room when that blackout happened, or so now I'm just doing some fast cam stalling to make sure Foxy and Freddy do not move. One alternative thing you could do is just flip the camera every 3 seconds, because Freddy's movement opportunity is 3 seconds, even though despite the fact you only has 5% chance to move every 3 seconds. And there's Bonnie right there. It's unlikely I'll be able to execute my exact strategy until we get to night 4, which won't be done in this guide. That'll be for another guide. As you can see, we're at 48% power at 3 AM, meaning we probably won't make it to the end of the night without having a power outage. So now is the point where we can start playing power efficiency style. Instead of just flipping up the camera quickly and checking the lights quickly, we just want to do it at a slow pace. Reduce it to a slow pace, and I'll probably do this until 4 AM. But I'm still going to keep playing at a slow pace just to make sure I end with about 10%, so I confirm the amount of power you can keep. I'm definitely making a YouTube short about that for Easter egg. You guys better see that on my channel. Another thing that weird with Foxy that we'll get to in future mode is that the only way to actually stall Foxy is if you open the camera and see these white lines. It shows you these white lines. These white lines. Now I'm just gonna chill for a minute. Checking. And there'll be a point where if I can really pause this power efficiency good enough, then I will generate some. There goes Freddy. I just wanted to prove my next part of the strategy. So now Freddy's in the restrooms. It is now trying to go on me. So now Freddy's in the restrooms. Yeah, I can't really execute my strategy, but I guarantee you, we probably won't have to resort to this. Now that Freddy's in the restrooms, didn't notice I was gone now. It's not that he disappeared. It's that Chica is there now. Alright, so now we just got some more puzzles night. And the night is pretty much over in the next few things. So the only really thing that you can do when Freddy's in the restrooms is just stall Chica. Because, like, Freddy's there, but if he's not there and he didn't laugh, it means Chica is now in that room. Maybe like chilling in that back hallway. Or she might just be right here or right here. Side note, why the hell is Freddy in the ladies' toilets? I just wanted to do a quick side note on that because, I mean, you know. So I just saw Chica in the dining room. We do want to peek around the map a little bit, just to watch out for any traps, any gold. Oh, there's Bonnie. So Bonnie is now outside, and there we go, 6 a.m. And that concludes the end of, and that concludes this guide. We'll be looking at 4, 5, and 6 on the next guide. So I'll be leaving you